Good lord. Come on, guys, we gotta get this Nursilla, man. Hey there hunters, Lord here, back with another Monster Hunter Wilds video. Title Update 3 is finally here. It is 5:20 in the morning when I'm recording this. I've been up since 10 p.m. grinding Monster Hunter, doing my best to get everything I possibly can from this update. Now, I will go ahead and preface this. I was not able to beat the Omega Savage, the 9-star tempered version. However, I was able to find some screenshots on Reddit, so we do have all of the information. So first and foremost, the thing I know you guys are looking most forward to, we're going to go over all the new armors and weapons and skills and whatnot with this update, and then at the end of the video, I will cover some quick tips and tricks to make your Omega farming just a little bit easier. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. So up first, one of the new things you'll get is the Soul of the Pictomancer. However, it will not immediately go into your item bar, like wearing the Akuma armor automatically puts the Akuma stuff in your item bar where you can do his attacks. You actually have to go to your item box like you see here and add it to your item bar. I would highly recommend making a special loadout just for Omega. Hot drinks are a must, life powders and dust of life are a must. Highly recommend it. Here's what I have so far. I have stuff to craft more life powders and to craft more dust of life. Take a look, take a screenshot, feel free. This is my ideal loadout. I've been getting it pretty consistently now. We struggled quite a bit in 4-player during my open lobby. However, with the tips and tricks I'll show you later, it's super easy to farm solo. I've been getting very efficient at it. I've been able to make most of the armor already, and I have the great sword on its way to max level. Speaking of the Great Sword, at its final upgrade, we have the True Shadowbringer. It comes with 220 True Raw, no affinity, a ton of Dragon Element, pretty good white sharpness, and middle-of-the-road slots with a nice defense bonus. But it also comes with a brand new skill called Dark Side, where by performing certain level 2 or higher charge slashes, you will temporarily get an increase to your attack, but also deal some self-damage. And just like you see at skill level 1, the skill is activated, but it has a certain cooldown until it can activate again. I haven't had a chance to test this out again. It's 5:30 in the morning, and I'm just trying to get this video done for you guys so I can go to bed before I have to work tomorrow. For the armor from regular Omega, the non-savage version, you will get the Bale Armor Alpha. This comes with 5 levels of Resentment and Latent Power, 3 levels of Maximum Might, and 2 levels of Constitution and Quick Sheath. By wearing 2 pieces of the Bale armor, you will get the Soul of the Dark Knight. At level 2, you get Dark Arts, where if you have recoverable damage, so you're red on your health bar, you get an increased elemental attack, and some of your Greatsword level 3 charge slashes are strengthened. This, of course, works hand in hand with the Omega Greatsword, as it does cause self-damage. And then if you wear 4 pieces of this armor, you unlock the Blackest Night, which again, I believe will be put into your inventory, and you'll have to put it in your item bar, and it'll allows you to perform the Blackest Night attack with this new Greatsword. But before we jump into the Savage Omega stuff, I want to let you know about today's sponsor. As someone who works from home 5 days a week and spends a lot of my free time both gaming and creating content, I end up spending a lot of my day sitting in my office in the same chair. So when Sihoo reached out and offered me a chance to test out their C300 ergonomic office chair, I just couldn't say no. I've been using the C300 exclusively for almost a month now in my day-to-day 8 hours in the office and in gaming and creating content afterwards, and let me tell you what an upgrade it has been to my setup. With lower back support that moves with me as I swap between slouching and actually remembering that I should be having good posture, as well as a headrest that is actually adjustable, and a breathable mesh for the seat and back that allows you to stay sweat-free, unlike the sticky leather that's prone to cracking on most gaming chairs that I've tried before. The C300 has just been a massive upgrade to the comfort of my day-to-day life. The breathable fabric also does a great job of contouring to my body, allowing for longer and more comfortable gaming sessions, even after a long workday in the same exact chair. With over 13 years of experience and over 1 million sales each year spanning 70% of the globe, Sihoo are masters of ergonomics. If you're looking for a more comfortable, more supportive, and more ergonomic chair for your gaming or office setup, or both just like mine, then be sure to head down to the link in the description and pick up the C300 for yourself. Huge thanks to Sihoo for sending me this awesome chair. Now let's go ahead and jump back into the video. So if you, unlike me, do not have a skill issue and want to take on Omega Planetus Savage version, you will scroll down to your event quest, and it is the Planetus Protocol Savage version. Again, this is a 9-star, 5 pink diamond tempered version of Omega Planetus. Very difficult, but he does have some brand new armor. Again, I don't have direct screenshots of the armor, but I did make this little chart showing all of the skills available. With the head, we get 1 weakness exploit and divine blessing. All armor pieces have a level 3 and a level 2 slot. The chest has 2 part breaker. The arms have 1 agitator and 1 divine blessing. The waist has 1 burst and 1 divine blessing. And the legs have 2 evade window. So again, you're seeing a lot of skills here: 1 weakness exploit, 1 agitator, 1 burst, as well as some divine blessing on the side and good slots. So we could definitely see these making their way into our sets overall. If you wear 2 or 4 pieces of this armor, you will get the Omega Resonance set bonus. At level 1, which is 2 pieces, when the quest starts, the local and remote resonance alternate, increasing your attack or affinity when conditions are met. I have no idea what that means. Again, I haven't had a chance to test it out myself. I haven't been able to beat Omega Savage version. It's been a long night of crashes and streaming and just having fun with you guys and dying a whole lot. So if you do know, drop a comment down below. And at 4 pieces, you get Resonance 2, which increases the effect of Resonance 1 and the effect of the weapon skill Synthetic Shield, or the effect of Synergy. And that takes us to our next set of weapons, where if you beat the Savage version, you can unlock a Sword and Shield and an Insect Glaive. The Sword and Shield is called True Omega Sword, comes with pretty good raw, decent affinity, no element, middle of the road slots, some defense, guard up 3, and Synthetic Shield. Synthetic Shield temporarily increases your defense and the defense of those around you after a successful perfect guard. That's super nice because you're gonna need that against Omega for sure. Perfect guards are great, and again, it works perfectly with Resonance level 2. It increases the effect of that skill specifically. And then we have the Insect Glaive, True Omega's Rod, pretty low attack, decent affinity, and some fire element. Again, same deal, mid sharpness, mid slots, but it comes with a new skill called Synergy, which temporarily increases your affinity and the affinity of your teammates around you after you use a Rising Spiral Slash. Again, I'm not sure how much it increases the defense with the Sword and Shield and the affinity with the Insect Glaive, but just remember both the Insect Glaive and Sword and Shield's unique skills do work with the 4-piece set bonus to increase their potency. So yeah, that's about it as far as Omega Planetus goes. I don't think there's a ton to be excited about if you're maining any other weapon other than Insect Glaive, Sword and Shield, or Great Sword, as those are getting really big boosts from this armor set. I'm a little sad that we don't really seem to have an armor set that is going to compete with the 4-piece Gores and the 2-piece Laggy and the Lord Soul. I'm a little tired of using 4 Gore myself, but I will be grinding to get these, and you guys can expect some sets on them soon. But that's it as far as Omega Planetus goes. If you're looking for some tips on the fight, then stay tuned, as that's what we'll be covering next. Alright, so first and foremost, I would highly recommend eating at the canteen in the Grand Hub. Your choice of either the fresh Silled cuisine, where you can get Moxie, which can save your life from time to time, or I personally like to go for the colorful Suja cuisine to get the Exploiter meal, so every time we pop a wound, I get an extra monster part. It just makes farming go a little faster. You can of course eat for the other meal that has Carver if you feel like you're going to win, but the Exploiter meal, even if you lose the quest, every time you pop a wound, you're getting more materials, so that is my personal go-to. All of the canteen meals in the Grand Hub come with insurance, and it's very important that you re-up those in between fights. We ran into this issue a lot tonight, where people would die and die and die. I would die and die and die, and we would use our insurance. Then we'd hop back in, die 3 times, go, hey, where's our insurance? If you use your insurance in a hunt, you have to go back and eat again to reactivate insurance. Having those extra carts is honestly invaluable to making sure you're able to complete this, especially for those of you who aren't able to play with friends or be in a Discord call and you're just playing with randoms. Having those extra carts is going to make a world of difference. Now, another thing I'd highly recommend is if you are one of those people and you're trying to farm solo and you're struggling with SOSs or finding a lobby, what you can do is Omega Planetus does not have HP scaling, so he doesn't have less HP at 1 player and more at 2 and 4. He has roughly the same HP. He has a few different roles that he can get for his HP, but it doesn't vary all that much, and it doesn't vary by how many people are in your quest. So what you can do is bring these support hunters. I recommend bringing the Lance, Hunting Horn, and Sword and Shield. The Hunting Horn will give you buffs, the Lance will take aggro, and the Sword and Shield user is pretty good at healing you. And then you can bring whatever weapon you're comfortable with and not really have to worry too much, because the HP is going to be the same with those support hunters as it would be if you were doing it solo just by yourself with no help, or if you were doing it with randoms. And this just gives you a little more control over it. As soon as I hopped off stream, I tried this out and honestly got 2 clears out of 2 immediately. I was able to make 3 of the armor pieces then and there. I was able to finish in under 20 minutes. So this is a pretty safe way to go. You get a lot of time with the base version of Omega Planetus. So if it does take you upwards of 20 minutes, you're not going to be pushing too hard against the clock. So again, if you're struggling, you want to try it solo, you don't want randoms joining your quest and dying, definitely give the support hunters a try. You can go into the quest settings as you're posting it. It's at the very bottom under Depart Now. And you can change it so when you SOS flare, it only invites support hunters. Their carts don't count if they do die, and that means if for some reason you're unable to kill Nursilla and he does his ult, it only counts as 1 cart. You don't just insta-fail the quest because all 4 of you died. It gives you a little bit more leeway, and again, like I said, they're very good at taking aggro and buffing you so long as you choose the Lance, Hunting Horn, and Sword and Shield support hunters. So touching back on the loadout that I showed you guys earlier, there's no need to bring flash pods or anything like that, as Omega Planetus can't be flashed or lured. The only real way to lure Omega Planetus is to have somebody with aggro, so I think it's very important that of your group of 4, if you do decide to play in a group with friends or with randoms, you have somebody who's a tank, whether that's a lance or a gun lance. You're going to want that stronger blocking shield. And you're going to want that person to be focusing the head, so that way they are retaining the aggro, so that way everybody else can focus on the legs and not have to worry too much about being hit. You're going to want probably either a Sword and Shield or Hunting Horn, either running speed eating, wide range, whatever, throwing around life powders, healing songs, because even with Lance, including guard up 3 and guard level 3, you're still going to be taking a lot of chip damage and you're not going to have much breathing room to heal. So having someone on your team that is dedicated to tossing out life powders or playing healing songs or even wide range, honestly, is probably viable at this point. It's a pretty difficult fight, but having somebody like that, so that way your lance or your tank can continue to keep that aggro without having to worry about dying all the time, is very important. Then the other 2, of course, you're still going to want to bring your life powders and dust of life, but your main goal is to just DPS on the legs as much as you can, focus the head on knockdowns, and just make sure you're paying attention to your teammates. If you're in a Discord call, be giving lots of comms, and you will find some success with Omega Planetus. A lot of his attacks are extremely telegraphed, but they're still difficult to dodge, so I built a set that I will link in the pinned comment down below. It's just a quick short showing a good set that has recovery, it has evade extender, it has divine blessing, so that way you have a lot of survivability, but it also deals really strong damage because it has 3 pieces of the AT gamma armor, giving us Lord Soul, so plus 5% damage. So it's a nice mix. If you want to check that out, again, it will be linked down in the pinned comment. Some other things I would highly recommend is try to save your mount for areas 2, 3, or even 4 if you can. Area 1 is honestly pretty simple. You'll almost never get aggro in that area if you just go ham on the legs. And regular Omega's moveset does really ramp up as he moves from stage 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, so having that crowd control of the mount later on in the fight is going to help relieve a lot of the pressure off of you guys. So it's very important, at least to me, that you save that mount if you can until the later areas of the fight. In areas 3 and 4, there are a lot of rock drops and the Jindahad breaking down wall, not the one where he climbs all the way up, but on the other side where you can drag the wall down. I'll try to include a clip. You can drop that onto Omega Planetus as well for extra damage, extra CC. And then another really big thing, especially in the later areas when he starts getting really sporadic and is spamming a lot of AoE attacks, is to make sure that if you see a big AoE attack coming in and you have a wound, you can pop it, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to interrupt that attack and give the rest of your teammates some breathing room. And then all throughout the fight, Omega will call in these Omega Micros. They'll jump on you and explode, but there are certain ones that kind of look like they're covered in a blue thunder. I'll try to include a clip here if I have one. And if not, just know they look like the other ones, but they have like shiny blue lightning on them. If you break those ones, you get a shield. If you pop a wound on Omega's head, you get a shield, and those shields block pretty much everything. Now do note they have a limited health pool and will only block so many things, so it's good to still be on your toes and paying attention to what is hitting the shield, because I had the shield pop quite a few times while I was in it, sharpening or trying to heal or drink a hot drink, and that attack still hit me, so I got used to holding guard while I was in there, just in case that shield did break. The shields are really strong. If you can pop them right underneath of Omega, you can just stand there, and while he's attacking, you can just go ham on his head and legs. Now, Omega does have parts that can be broken. You can break his head for a guaranteed lens drop, and you can even break his legs, and that will drop a slinger ammo that you can use to shoot a shield down. So getting these and picking these up whenever the legs break and he drops parts is very important, because again, you get that extra comfort. You don't have to worry about any of the fire attacks, the laser beams. All you have to worry about is if he body slams you or does a stomp attack. Shields are your best friend. Getting those done is very, very important. Another huge thing, speaking of the shields, is in Area 3, you have to fight a Nerscylla clone when he goes to charge up his ultimate attack. As soon as you see him get up and start flying around and all the cactuars spawn and all the Omega Micros and all the other little Final Fantasy creatures start spawning, you need to head right to the middle and start getting ready to beat up on this Nerscylla. If you don't kill this Nerscylla, it won't drop the big bubble shield and you will all die. You can't farcast away, you can't fast travel away, you will die to his ultimate attack. So it's very important that you go ham on this Nerscylla, but also be careful, because this Nerscylla has a bunch of Omega Planetus new moves that hit like a truck. We had a ton of carts to Nerscylla, which is a psychotic thing to say here in Wilds, but we did. But it is paramount that you look out for this Nerscylla, start attacking it as soon as you can. You'll get little updates on the bottom of the screen telling you what % Omega is charged up to, so you can kind of keep track of it that way. And then look out for these little green spiky dudes. Again, I don't know what they're called. I don't follow Final Fantasy at all. I apologize. If you know, leave a comment down below. But they will have a little red kind of radius that will show, much like Omega's missile attacks. And they will inflict you with stench, with poison, and paralysis. Stench means you can't heal. Poison means you're losing health. And paralysis means you can't move. And that is pretty much a death sentence. So keep an eye out for those guys. I believe you can use the Cactuar to damage Nerscylla, but they also will really beat the hell out of you. If you're blocking, you will constantly hear the guard go ka-dung, ka-dung, ka-dung every time that Cactuar is spinning around, shooting out his little needles. So you can use those to your advantage, but again, be smart, know your positioning. You don't have to worry about Omega at all during this portion of Area 3. Just focus on Nerscylla, make sure you're keeping an eye on your surroundings for the little green guys that will try to inflict you with status, and you should be okay. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. If you have any other tips or tricks, or if you know more about Final Fantasy than I do, or if you have any further insight on the specific skills or the Savage fight, be sure to drop a comment down below. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like on the video to support it completely for free. And don't forget to subscribe for more Monster Hunter content just like this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to eventually I'm going to get it all done. I'm going to get all the armor pieces and weapons, and we will have some sick sets for you guys, and subscribing is the best way to make sure you don't miss out on those sets. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I wish you all good luck out there and happy hunting.